very different from Old Testament law and worship. It can be shaken, it has been shaken, and it will never be seen again. We receive a kingdom which cannot be moved means that there's no other biblical kingdom which is going to replace New Testament kingdom and worship. There is no Jewish millennium with the reinstitution of temples and the division of land for this tribe and that tribe, and then the Zadokite priesthood raised up and new stone tables for the killing of animals. We receive a kingdom which cannot be moved. This is the final form in which the kingdom of God will be manifested before the second coming of Jesus Christ in the eternal state. We receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved means that Muhammad and Islam are lies. Because almost some 600 years after Christ, with Muhammad and the writing of the Quran, they claim we have Old Testament, we have New Testament, and then atop that, as the most recent and fulfillment of the whole, you have Muhammad and Islam. We receive a kingdom which cannot be moved or shaken. There isn't anything to supersede New Testament Christianity. There's only the eternal state. Because Islam most definitely brings in a new law, even more burdensome than Old Testament law, and a new form of worship with the 5 pillars of Islam and a different day and all the rest. We've got a kingdom which cannot be moved. And it's the same thing with the Mormons, with their foolish claim to revelation and to be the restoration of the Church of Jesus Christ in our day, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We've got a kingdom which can't be moved. New Testament revelation, from Matthew to the book of Revelation, is final. There isn't any more, despite the lies of the charismatics too. It's finished. God has spoken in His Son, who is God and man and who's made atonement on the cross of Calvary. There isn't any more because there can't be any more. Because there is no greater message than that, and the worship of the church has been perfected. New Testament revelation, the New Testament church, the New Testament worship, the New Testament gospel is final, irreplaceable. Nothing will supersede it until the coming of Jesus Christ and the eternal state of the new heavens and the new earth, with resurrected bodies and sinless souls. We receive a kingdom which cannot be moved. And it's a kingdom, a universal kingdom, heaven and earth. And we receive this kingdom as kings. Kings in the kingdom, priests in the kingdom, prophets in the kingdom. And somebody could say, oh, this is going too far. You guys receiving an unmovable kingdom, you guys kings in this kingdom, and priests and prophets in a kingdom, just to gather up a people in a hall. Who do you think you are? And we say, we're sorry that you can't see it, because it's only understood by faith. The mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, and only those who believe in Jesus appreciate it. Their spiritual realities in Him. The Zion I'm talking about is a heavenly Zion, but you can't touch it or feel it in any way because you're carnal. And this kingdom is future. We believe presently in the Zion which is above, and in the future we will see it realized when the heavenly Jerusalem comes down to earth, bringing in the new heavens and the new earth. But it's there. As Hebrews 11 verse 1 puts it, we have a conviction and realization and taste of things that are not seen by faith. In fact, we turn it right around and say, you only think you've got a kingdom. You only think you've got power and might and dominion. Because ours is the only unmovable, unshakable kingdom. And history backs us up. Because the history of this world is the record of the rise and fall and rubble of world kingdoms. And that will be the fate of the final anti-Christian kingdom, far greater and more powerful than anything which came before it, which embraces all continents of the world and all the peoples of the world. Even then, it's not unmovable and unshakable. Christ will come and shake it to bits. And he will burn up everything, consuming it with fire. So that the Christian says, not just, oh, you've got a kingdom and I've got a kingdom too. We say, you haven't really got a kingdom at all. It's all going to be rubble. We have an everlasting and indestructible kingdom raised up in the blood and cross of Jesus Christ. And we didn't earn it. We received it. We receiving a kingdom as a gift of God. Grace. Rooted in eternal election. A kingdom which Jesus says is prepared for us before the foundation of the world. So we don't go back. We don't refuse him who speaks from heaven. We don't refuse him who speaks with a voice which shakes heaven and earth. We listen, we believe, we obey, we suffer, we persevere. Instead of going back, we seek God's grace day to day to serve him faithfully in this kingdom. We having a kingdom, we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved. Let us have grace whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. Let us have grace. And where do you go for grace? Where do you go for grace, especially as presented in the book of Hebrews?